You guys give me a thumbs up in the chat if you guys can hear me okay. Hopefully, I changed things around. The last time I went live, I did notice that there was quite a bit of maybe gain, I guess, is what was happening. It didn't sound good. It didn't sound good nonetheless. Hold on one second. I got to turn on this notifications real quick. Got people messaging me left and right about crypto. What's going on, Take? What do you feel about this? What do you feel about that? That's why I'm going live right now, guys. I want to actually give you guys my 2 cents about what's happening out there in the crypto market. I'm going to talk to you guys about altcoins. I'm going to be talking to you guys, of course, about Bitcoin. I'm going to be talking to you guys about the larger, grander picture, which is just the general markets in all. And so we're going to dive right into it. But before I do me a huge favor, like the stream, no matter where you are. You could be on YouTube, you could be on X. I really would appreciate it. Follow along. If you're not following on either one of those platforms, it shouldn't cost you anything. It takes you no time whatsoever. So there's no excuses, guys. And we're just going to go ahead and vibe out and kind of chart and chill. Give you guys our 2 cents about what we're seeing out there in the markets. If you guys have any questions, feel free to leave them in the chat. I will try to respond to them when I see them come up. And or if you guys are a friend of the show, you guys can also request to be part of it. So if you guys would like to get involved, I always try to leave it open as this is a very open space in regards to what I put out there. Nonetheless, let's go ahead and jump on into it. Let me go ahead and share with you guys the screen that is TradingView. We're going to start off looking at, excuse me, the DJI or the Dow Jones. Right now, as you guys can see, flat. Basically flat. And I used to do this quite often, but we're going to be doing this a lot more going forward. We're going to be taking a look at the traditional markets before we jump on into other markets, because it's one and the same, guys. It's no longer that, you can't say now that it's not correlated, because the same money is the same money, especially with ETFs and especially with growing adoption with the crypto market and et cetera, et cetera. It's just more of a liquidity shift at any time that you're seeing things. And so I think it's relevant in the conversation for us to talk about the traditional markets. Whenever we see another market pumping, we want to see what's happening over here to kind of get a better understanding of what's going on over there. So let's go ahead and take a look at the Dow Jones. Dow Jones flat, like I said. It's actually a little bit down and not just flat, but it's down 0.18 on the daily. We are using daily time frame. I do use Market Cipher as my favorite oscillator indicator tool of choice. And oh, by the way, we are jamming out to some minimal house. Like it's just, some vibes. It gets weird just talking to yourself sometimes. So we are kind of vibing out a little bit with some music. If it's too high, again, just let me know. If it's too low, you guys can't hear it, or if it's just annoying to you guys, again, let me know in the chat and I'll let you guys kind of in on if we change it or not. I find it helpful when I'm ranting to myself though. But anyway, Dow Jones down just a little bit on the day. We are using Market Cipher, like I said, on the daily time frame. You can see that it's coming back down to retest the 50 SMA. 50 SMA is this line right here. 200 SMA on my chart is right here. And I'm not telling you guys to do anything in any which way, but I'm a firm believer that all you really need, especially if you're a higher time frame investor and or swing trader, not a scalper, right, is the 50 and the 200 SMA. That's all you really need. You could use EMAs if you want. I'm kind of fonder to the SMAs, or the simple moving average. So again, the 50 SMA is here, 200 SMA right here. Daily time frame showing the price action for the Dow Jones, looking like it's wanting to come back down like it's been doing for the 50 SMA for quite some time and retest it. All in all, not too bad. We got to have our ebbs and flows. If you take a really zoomed out look at the traditional markets, and this is going to be all of them except for maybe the Russell, you can see, excuse all this drawings here, you can see that we're basically at all-time highs. Like this month, again, we're sitting at all-time high price action for the Dow Jones. So like, not everything is crypto, especially not for me. If you're in the regular stock markets, whether you're in the Dow Jones, the NASDAQ, the Russell, the SPX, or the S&P 500, as they call it, if you have a long enough time horizon, I guess what I'm trying to say to you all is you'd probably be doing really well, right? Like you'd probably be doing fairly well. Of course, there's nuances. You have to pick the appropriate positions and stocks and things to get into. But in general, since we're looking at the indexes, all in all, like you gotta admit, like we're still up into this uptrend, even with the downtrends when we do have them. This is back 2008. We had the market crash, 2020. COVID, you can see that we are still just up and to the right. That's the way that it's set up. That's the way that it's always going to be until it's not. We do have a disruptor, which is crypto, and as it grows, as it matures, and as the technology and options within crypto start kind of pulling away from, dare I say, some of the things that we're used to, like NFTs and like memes and some DeFi or NFTFi, which I like it. I don't get me wrong, I like some of these things. But as we start seeing the utility and the technology start really changing to real world use cases on a day to day applicable like conversation, that is going to change. We're going to start seeing the Dow Jones and other things start changing, at least the dynamics of it. And so again, and just until it is what it is, it is what it is, right? Like, until that those kind of things happen, it just is what it is. You'd be doing really well in the Dow Jones, the Russell, the Nasdaq, the S&P, the traditional markets. Again, right now we're looking at the Dow Jones on the monthly. We're gonna go back to the daily here. The Nasdaq up 0.56%. If any of you catches up with me, you can see that it's coming down right now. All in all, even though it's having a green day, back to the 50 SMA. Again, 50 SMA is going to be pointed out here with this thinner line, and the 200 SMA is this line right here. I've been in on the Nasdaq for quite some time. Again, I'm not going to kind of go over all of this. I practice something called the 4x4 DCA strategy or dynamic DCA strategy, which is not my strategy, it's just something that I perfected a little bit for my own purposes. And I've been in at these ranges down here on the last dip. I was waiting for even lower if it happened. But right now, guys, my long-term bags are just kind of laughing at where we got into yet again. Absolutely loving it from what I got in. Basically at the lows, I'm not even lying. At the lows to where we are right now, I'm almost up 91%. So pretty awesome to see. I wasn't able to hit the Dow Jones lick, but I was able to hit the Nasdaq. The Russell right now basically flat. Again, daily time frame, you can see it coming down to the 50 SMA. And like I said earlier, a lot of these are going to be doing the same thing. It's going to be coming down to the 50 SMA for the traditional markets. Not bad. We got to have our sells to have more buys. We got to have our ebbs and flows. It just is what it is. Again, we were actually able to hit a lick on these lows. We were calling these out way a long time ago. So I'm not going to sit there and just like 90 move it. Wish you guys were there with me. But if you guys been watching the channel, you guys would have been probably in there with me. And this is fun. This is fun time now. So all in all, not looking too bad. What am I up now? I literally, I'm measuring the bottoms because I actually hit the lick on the bottom for these. But right now, up 40% on the Russell. Not bad. At one point, we were up almost 50. Excuse me. Allergies getting me again, guys. S&P up 0.25%. Again, looking like it's coming down, retesting the 50 SMA. All of them doing the same thing. Not rocket scientists. Not rocket science. So you don't need to be a rocket scientist to see these things. But 50 SMA, really strong place to be looking at on your first, point of entry if you are looking for one. I'm not. I'm going to be very honest with you guys. Like I was just saying before, I've already caught my lick. Now I'm just kind of holding for the long haul. I've already realized my triple plus play, which is my initial investment plus some profits, and now I have some free and clear of the asset that I'm in. So it is what it is, right? So just watch out for these zones. Looking healthy though. It's looking really healthy on the daily time frame. Let me see if we have any messages here. One second. We'll be getting into the crypto landscape. Guys, if you guys have any crypto related charts you guys want me to take a look at or any questions at all, let me know as well. Could you guys hear me? Why is nobody telling me? Could you guys even hear? I don't think you guys could hear me on this one. Good gosh, I'm rusty. Apologies. We switched over to the DXY. If you guys can hear earlier, we're taking a look at things on the monthly time frame. And what I was saying while I was muted, I think, is I watch the DXY religiously. Like as an investor, long-term investor, I want to know the strength of my dollar. What's my purchasing power look like, right? And if you guys don't know, we do follow a trend, and it is still intact. You can see that we are in a long-term uptrend, excuse me, if you will. And we've been in this uptrend since 2008. Now, eventually this uptrend is going to falter and we are going to go back into a downtrend. Why do I say that, you might ask? It's because it has, and it's done it in the past, and it is what it is. It's going to do it again. Again, the trend is a friend until it's not. So you can see that we usually go into a 5-year downtrend, multi-year uptrend, 5-year downtrend, or I'm sorry, it's reversed. It's been a while. 5-year uptrend, multi-year downtrend, 5-year uptrend, multi-year downtrend. And now this trend that we're in, this uptrend, is the first time that we've been in an uptrend for more than usual, right? So it leads me believing that when we do falter and we don't maintain this uptrend, it's going to be a multiple year downtrend. And that's when we're going to want to be getting into some really good investments, because we don't want to be sitting on our dollar when our purchasing power for the dollar is weakening and weakening, right? We want to be actually moving our capital into a position that's going to be preserving our capital or our purchasing power or our value, right? Longer. Yeah. What's up, Joe? Dollar index. Yeah. But we want to be getting into a position that's going to be preserving that value or that power that we have for the long haul instead of just sitting on it, right? So again, the DXY, we're looking at it on the monthly time frame. I'm showing you the whole of the chart, the whole of the chart, as you guys can see here. 5-year uptrends usually, multiple year downtrends, and when I say that, it's usually between 6 to 8, give or take, right? A little bit of flex there. But 5-year uptrends, multiple year downtrends, 5-year uptrend, multiple year downtrends, and now this is the first time that we've been in a long-term uptrend. And you might be like, oh, well, what changed that, Tank? Why are we in a multiple year uptrend? Why have we been in this multiple year uptrend? Well, if you guys don't know, maybe some of you guys are really, really young. But if you guys don't know what happened in 2008, that's when we had a collapse. Now, if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, that was the housing market collapse and all this other stuff. Like, just go back here. I track things like all these. Look, all these are manual measurements and like I'm very, very crazy about this stuff. Not to say that you guys have to do it. But look right here. You see this huge dip in the stock market? This is the Dow Jones index. This is kind of like high overall look at the markets, the Dow Jones. We can go to the NASDAQ and also you'll see the same thing in these markets, right? What happened here? Well, it's crazy because this showed that the stock markets collapsed. The housing markets collapsed. A lot of things collapsed, not just the housing markets. But there was a domino effect and people lost a lot. But the DXY, let me go back to it again. The DXY on that same time frame, 2008, right? What happened here? We started a multiple year uptrend because we just started printing. It wasn't nothing in comparison to what we did during the COVID pandemic. We printed the most money ever into circulation, ever in the shortest amount of time, ever, right? And that's just another thing. Look here, 2000, whoop, print, right? Crazy as can be. We dump, print. So we're just, I want to use the word manipulating the inevitable. We're just putting off and delaying the inevitable. In my humble opinion, there will be a moment where we do go into this multiple year downtrend for the dollar, and especially with emerging markets like the crypto market evolving and maturing. There's going to be better places for people to earn yield, earn a percent of where they're parking their capital long term, rather than just sitting it in a bank with the dollar. So just something to think about, guys. We might come back up into the shot. It looks like we're gonna do it. Maybe come back down here. We do it again. We just go back up here. Boom, we falter, and that's the time we start coming down. But I promise you, we will inevitably come back down, and we will just be rinsing and repeating the same old same. Which I don't know. This is kind of a stretch too, right? Like if I come out here, and if you look at it at this kind of light, like right, it's all about averages. It's all about averages. Maybe you know what? Maybe we do this to make it a little bit more realistic. Maybe we do something like this. We got one touch, two touches, and we falter here and come back down. Maybe it's a little bit too hard because you only got three touches, really. Maybe it's something like this. I don't know. Too early, right? Too early to tell. Joe's in the house. Guys, follow my friend Joe. He has a great YouTube channel as well. Love that guy. Mr. Effort, I don't know what happened on Akash today, but there was a spike to $4.20, and my first take profit got triggered. There you go. I love it. I love that you had limits already ready to take profit. I absolutely love it. Love Akash, by the way. We're going to be getting into that in just a little bit. I'll kind of tell you, there were some things pointing it out on the socials, some of the fundamental analysis, right? Some of the fundamentals that we got to be watching when it comes to making decisions out there. It's not all about TA. Technical analysis is a delayed response of what's happening out there fundamentally. I've always said that. I've always believed it. So fundamentals have changed a little bit for Akash. And it's extremely bullish. It's extremely bullish. Love it though, man. I love it. When did you get in, Mr. Effort? When did you get in on your position for Akash? Excuse me. I'm dealing with some sinus stuff. I'm trying not to get too close to my mic. I notice my mic gets grainy and it pops when I get too close to it. I always feel like I got to yell into it. Let's go ahead. Let's get off the DXY. Oh, actually, you know what? Let me show you guys something. You guys want to know, like, truthfully and honestly, you guys might think I'm crazy. So this is the DXY right here, right? I truthfully and honestly do think that when we do get resistance, wherever it may be, it might be a year from now, you know, it might be whenever it is. I don't know. Nobody knows. And whenever people try to tell you that, like, trust me, take it with a grain of salt. But whenever it does happen, I really do think that we're going to ebb and flow our way all the way down here to the range of 59.43. Why do I say that? Because it's math. It's math. If you guys took out and measured all of these dips, all these average dips, so the average move down whenever we, oops, let me show you. Let me show you. How crazy would it be if the purchasing power for the dollar is all the way down here at 59.43? It'd be crazy, right? This is the section I'm telling you guys about here. It's if you just measured, and you know, I'm not going to do it to exact, but if you just measured from the top where we did get resistance to where we falter and hit the ground and then bounce, that's 49% right there, right? I'm not going to do the math. Like, again, like I said, I'm just showing you. And you go here down to where that's 41. So I'm just going to say, I thought maybe it was here. Maybe this was the top here. But if you pull it down, that's 46, 47. It's not like it could happen. That's not too far off to where the slides take us anyway, right? Who knows? It might be short-lived. I might be off because if we rally and maybe let's say we come back up here again and we come down to 40, let's just say 40. Let's just even say here. This is going to be our pocket. This is going to be our zone, right? 71 to 59. I'm still in a good range. You might think that's a huge range, but that's in a good range, right? I really do realistically think that when the damage happens, when the inevitable happens and the bubble pops for the dollar, that we are going to slide all the way down here. And that's on a conservative standpoint. That's a conservative view on where the dollar strength is going to be folding down to when it does happen. It's just math. It's just statistics and probabilities, right? And if you have a long enough time horizon, shit, you can kind of almost short the dollar. I don't know, it costs money to be in a short and stuff like that. But like, you know, I can't ever do that. I can never time the markets either. I don't like playing that game. So what I'd rather do is get into positions and rotate out, because that's all liquidity is. Like I was saying earlier, for the stock markets, for crypto markets, and all the other markets, precious metal markets and stuff like that. It's really just a global liquidity shift that happens at any given time, right? There's only so much water in the bucket. And if you add or take things into the bucket, the water shifts to one side or another. It's the same thing with money and value, like money and stuff like that. Money is supposed to flow. money shifts, money keeps moving and stuff like that. It's really uh, when you say like new liquidity coming in, yeah, there's like bits and pieces or splashes of water that might come into the bucket, but it's usually just the shift of liquidity that's already been there or sidelined waiting to get back into the pool or into the bucket. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's the DXY. If you guys have any questions about that, let me know. I really do, truly and honestly do think that it's going to come down when it does falter all the way down to this zone here. And I will be getting into so many good assets, so many good positions, whether it's in real estate, whether it's in precious metals, whether it's in crypto. I will be repositioning and have been over the long haul even harder. Mr. Effort says, man, look at that. Look at that. From 68 cents, he got into Akash at 68 cents and took profits at 420. That's a win if I've ever seen one. Was holding for years. You dang skippy. You right. You know what's crazy though? You didn't even have to. Somebody tweeted a repost of mine earlier. Let me see if I can find that real quick. Let me see if I can find it real quick, guys. Hold on one second. I'm going to try to find it for you guys real quick. This is the crazy thing about Akash. If you guys don't know what about Akash or AKT, right? They've been making a lot of headway recently in the regards of adoption, AI, compute power. Even their founder, Greg, has now been talking to the government and helping them with their new initiative to have a better understanding and rules and regulations about things and adoption here in the US. Let me try to find it for you guys. Hold on one second. This is the crazy thing about Akash. Okay, here we go. Check it out here. Let me share this with you guys. This is my Twitter. I don't mind if you guys would follow me. I've been noticing bots like pump and dump my following things. Like I was at 6,000 followers and now I'm at like 5,900. It's so crazy how every day it fluctuates. Anyway, his Evmos retweeted me. My original post was this, and this is what I want to share with you guys. I posted this not too long ago, and I've been sharing this about Akash long time ago when the token unlocks were happening and the final unlocks were happening for things in May 2023. Last year, you could have got exposure to Akash around 20 cents, 20 to 30 cents range, depending on where you're buying it from, right? 20 to 30 cents. So Mr. Effort got in at 68 cents, but there was people like me who I still have my Akash free and clear, long-term holds that I bought between 20 and 30. So I'm not trying to one-up you, but like when you say holding for years, like you held through all of that, but you could have reinforced all of that, dude. It's been amazing for Akash. The past year has been amazing, and I was calling this out a long time ago. I will say, if you read this, Jackal Protocol has me just as bullish. If you guys don't know about Jackal Protocol, you can see it right here. It's a data chain that delivers decentralized data storage to individuals, businesses, and other blockchains. We need to get off centralized entities that hold our data. Google, Amazon, all these large corporations. Think about it. You need to own your own information and data. You can do so using Jackal. I think it has huge product market fit, huge potential. Kind of pumping my bags because I own some. Not gonna lie, I have some, but just letting you guys know, right? Like I truly and wholeheartedly believe that. Let me go back to the charts though. Yeah, I thought it was a great entry. Great entry. I mean, I'm not complaining about it for sure. Let's go here. Let's look at Bitcoin real quick. Let's look at Bitcoin real fast. We're still on the monthly. We get to the daily again here. You guys see all these lines here. Again, if you guys were following the channel, I haven't been making a lot of videos. I've just now gotten back to it because I'm pretty busy in my everyday life. I own a medical practice with my wife. She's the lead doctor. We have several doctors underneath us and many employees. And that became, in the bear market, that became first and foremost, along with my real estate endeavors, real estate practices and investments, which I have across the country and stuff like that. And also homeschool my kids. So like a lot of things became boring in crypto. And I was like, I just need to shift gears over here. I was still doing live crypto events and stuff like that. So again, if you guys want to check out the shirt. If you guys want to check out NFT Nashville, right? NFT Nashville, we host a thing with our friend Joe that was here just not too long ago. We host NFT Nashville every year, obviously in Nashville, Tennessee. So anyway, Let me get back into it though. Let me show you guys some of these zones that I was just complaining about to you guys for Bitcoin here. Now, if you guys were watching my show in the past, like we hit these, I'm just bringing these up here in past tense, but we hit these things to a lick. We were showing you guys the 4x4 DCA strategy. And yes, literally, this is where I got a lot of this recent Bitcoin positions that I had. Hit it to a T, 1 entry, 2 entry, 3 entry, 4 entries, split up my buying power, my DCAs into fours. And even those sections get split up into fourths as well, because you never know where the bottom is, right? Hit this to a T. And from where we got into the $16,000 range, right, to where we are right now, it's been amazing. Oh, gosh, get off. Let me fit this in here. Our last DCA zone here, give or take, right, to where we are right now. That's 450%. 450%. Amazing. Yes, there's not much to say about where resistance is going to be, right? Like it's pretty obvious. People would say round numbers, every 10,000 is going to be resistance. That's the obvious. I would dare say, because I'm very conservative, that every 5,000 on the way up into all-time highs will probably more than likely be resistance going forward. And there are bots out there that wait for those places on the charts, and so you got to kind of front run those bots as well. So if you're going to be taking profits, maybe take profits not at like $95,000, but at like maybe 94.2 or something. Like don't get caught up on having to hit the absolute lick on the exact price point that you think you need to take. Be okay with shaving it off a couple $100. In the grand scheme of things, what does it mean really, right? It doesn't mean jack shit, really, to be honest with you. Like, would you rather not be able to sell near the all-time high, or are you obsessed with having to sell the all-time high? Because very few people actually do that, right? If you sell near the all-time high, you're an absolute winner. If you don't sell the all-time high, shoulda, coulda, woulda, but that doesn't matter, right? That doesn't count. Yeah, this looks crazy though. This looks absolutely crazy. If you're taking a look at things again, daily time frame right now, I think 95 then 100K is going to be huge resistance for a short while. I don't know, but if you think about it in retrospect, like the past couple days, this is the daily time frame we're taking a look at here. Like honestly, from the average low here of when we just like went away from it back in September 7th to where we are right now, which is only 72 days, 3 months, 72 days, give or take, right? Like we're up 68%. Now, I'm going to be very honest with you guys. Let me bring you guys to a different Bitcoin chart, right? A different Bitcoin chart, which I've been sharing with a lot of people here. I have on my chart here a top, you see this dotted line here, conservatively of about 120 to about 140 for this run, for this effort, right? You want to call it a bull push or a having, like whatever, right? This appreciation phase, I should say, is what I like to call it. I realistically think that about 120 to 140 is going to be where we kind of stall out and really go sideways, hopefully putting in something like we saw right here, right? So from this sidewards price action of a range that we had, we are in this channel of sorts, right? You can say that this was kind of like a channel. I'm just being kind of messy with this, by the way, so don't get at me. You can say this was a channel of sorts here. We've pumped, and I'm going to split the difference right in the middle here. We've pumped already about 50%. From where we are right now, tell me that it's not crazy to think that we can't do another 50%, which is, this is 54, which puts us at 140. Like we definitely can do that. And that I don't think anybody would complain about. But I realistically think that's going to be kind of kind of where we stall out and go sideways there. So I'm just saying, like, does anybody else, where do you guys think we're going to stall out? And don't tell me we're not just going to go up and to the right, because that's not realistic. We are going to stall out and the rotation will happen. Dominance will change. People will start looking into other things and stuff like that. The halving will come closer, whatever it might be, right? Keep in mind the halving is May. Is it May? No. When's the next halving? No, it's not. No, it's not. Why is that there? I don't even know why it's there. Weird. I don't know why. Oh, Why did I put that line there? That's not a halving. Every 4 years. We just had a halving. I think this is when. Oh, I think to see it's been so long since I was streaming. I think that's me calling out in the past on my last stream where I think the dominance is going to change. So I think we have until May until the dominance changes, and I think that's when we have, as far as time to get to this range of about 120 to 140. That's right. That's right. Again, let me know what you guys think. 179 people watching, probably on Twitter because that's where everything's at. Who watches things on YouTube anymore? You guys, drop me a like on Twitter if you guys agree, or if you guys hate me. Either one, it doesn't matter. So yeah, but Bitcoin doing well. It's doing well right now, guys. We're staying above 90, so we've been ebbing and flowing back to 88, and it's to be expected if you reset this chart here and you look at things like honestly and truthfully, like we need to have sales to have more buys. We need to flush out the market. We need to have like a reset of sorts. I will say, I would not be surprised if we come back down here and retest the $72,000 to $74,000 price point for Bitcoin in order for us to actually really truly put it in the rearview mirror as support, and for us to use it as a springboard of support and blast off and try to make another effort up into 100K. If it does that, that would be very, very good in my opinion. If it doesn't do that, I'm going to be more and more nervous and probably more rapidly taking profits as we climb up to the $95,000, $100,000 because it's unrealistic. It's not sustainable. It's not maintainable unless we see a true catalyst fundamentally wise. Because again, what I was talking to you guys about, I think TA is just a delayed response of what happens out there fundamentally. So again, if we see nation states, other countries, maybe Microsoft, like they've been talking about, deploying small amounts of their balance onto or reserving Bitcoin into their balance sheets or whatever, into their companies, that will change my opinion about things, right? But unless we see those kind of things rapidly taking place, it's not sustainable, it's not maintainable, and it's not realistic. So if we keep going, like I'll probably be more actively taking profits. But if we come back down, I wouldn't be surprised one bit if we falter, come back down to this zone here, which look, this zone here, look at that, of previous resistance, 72, 74, use it as a springboard of support. And while we do that, we can bounce, really concretely putting it in. And look at this, guys. Look at this. We'd just be coming down to this uptrend support line as well that we have been making ever since basically September, right? That would make total sense to me. It would make total sense to me with the Bitcoin price action. If we come back down here, boom, 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 and start making our push up, ever so slowly with the price action for Bitcoin. We also have the 50 SMA, the 200 SMA right underneath that, kind of just telling me to watch for this zone, right? If we come back down, that wouldn't be unrealistic. That'd be kind of good. That would be kind of good. Let me know what you guys think, guys. That'd be kind of good. So while other people out here are giving you guys hopium, letting you guys know, we're going to the moon. This is it. Strap your bags. You like trying to push that FOMO narrative because one, it drives clicks for them. I don't need these clicks. I do it because I genuinely like what I do. I think this is just my own opinion. I think I'm successful at it. My bank would kind of tell you that I am. But I do it so it's actually hopefully beneficial to some people, and so that the things that I say are used in some kind of positive way and are hopefully helping people. So I don't need the view. It's nice though. So definitely click and like and subscribe and do all those nice things. It'd be nice, but you got to remember what you're getting fed out there on social media. They're feeding you to the machine. The machine is all about impressions. The machine is all about likes. So they will I don't even do thumbnails. I don't fucking care. They will put thumbnails on things to bait you in there. They will tell you this and that so that you buy their bags and then, monetize their content out there. So what's up, Mr. Snickers? Yeah, I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. Sounds logical to me, right? Can I have your thoughts on HBAR and AVAX? One, I love AVAX. I still do. Some people will kind of fight me about that. I still think that I still hold my AVAX. I've sold a lot of it, but I still have some long-term AVAX. And I think if they truly, or not even them, but if other ecosystems like Cosmos, if you guys know I'm a Cosmos kind of native, reaches out, truly, really puts their hand into that ecosystem and vice versa, like a lot of them I think should be doing. I think there's a strong, strong, strong bull narrative for not just AVAX, but for also HBAR. I love both of them. Are you asking me, by the way, because you have them, or are you considering them? Especially at the points. I don't even know if I have HBAR on here. Hold on. Oh, where's the best place to look for HBAR? HBAR Coinbase. Oh, I thought I do have it on here somewhere. Binance. Do I have it on here? I have it on here somewhere. Where's it at? Where's it at? Go to symbol. Oh, excuse me. There it is. Look at 34%. Look at freaking HBAR. A lot of other people think the same way as me. Look at this. Look at this. This is a good place. So we're going to talk about just about charting, right? We can get into fundamentals and stuff like that, but let's just stick to realistic, easy peasy charting. Easy peasy charting. You got to understand that when you look at HBAR right now, right? And it's still loading a bunch of the back data. Hold on. Let me take a sip of coffee. HBAR for 4 years. Nice. We'll get to AVAX in just a second. But let's look at HBAR, right? Yeah, you can see that I used to chart the shit out of this way back in the day. Way back in the day. Well, I say way back in the day. It really wasn't that long ago. It just feels like it was way back in the day. Oh man, crypto will age you, won't it? It feels crypto years. Literally, I know we've used this joke for forever, but it's so true. It literally, guys, look at this. Hold on a second. I didn't have all these gray hairs like 3 years ago. 4 years ago. God bless. It like sets in so fast. 1 year in crypto is like 4 dog years or whatever it is. Anyway, let's go back. Let's go back. The thing that I want to talk to you guys about is just simple TA, right? Simple TA. It's really easy. Let me take off this right here. It's just kind of distracting. So it's real simple. Price action right now is sitting right here. Now, as I look at the price action right here on this yellow dotted line, you can see a few things that kind of stand out to us, right? Which was once resistance, treated up as support back in the day, back in 2021, which was fun as hell. If you guys weren't around in 2021, guys, you missed out on all the fun. I don't know if it's going to be just as fun, but that shit was fun as hell. I'm not going to lie. I'm not even lying. You could piss in the wind, and the wind and the piss in the wind wouldn't even hit you. You could spit in the wind, and it would like dodge you because you're such a winner. It would like you couldn't do anything wrong. It felt like in 2021, 2021. I kid you not. Like it was so much fun. Anyway, previous resistance support. You can see here it tried to come up. It got resistance. You can just say when it was glancing here, resistance, glancing here, resistance, chopped out resistance and or support. So as we come up to basically where we are right now, I would what was that? What would that tell you? I would assume that it would tell you that it's probably going to be pretty good resistance going forward. There's a lot of people that need to exit their positions here or want to exit their positions or de-risk or de-leverage their positions from back here when they thought differently, right? And got wrecked. So you just, I might be wrong about that. Truly and admittingly, you never know. I could be absolutely wrong, but you just got to think like there's got to be people that have been waiting, kind of like Mr. Snickers was saying. He's been in it for 4 years. There's some people that are sitting there going, man, I could be in other places right now. And if I could just get out at where I got in, I'd rather fucking do that because where I was a long ride, right? And then there's other people that also bought at the lows here, maybe way back in the past and also during the bear market, who are realizing the gains and seeing the same thing here and kind of like taking their profits as it comes up to those zones that I just shared with you. And then you got to remember as well, there's all these people here that are waiting for the moment for it to climb back up to that price point so that they can get the fuck out, right? Exactly. Mr. Snickers is just he's being real. He says, that was me. I got wrecked. How many other people that are thinking the same way? I got wrecked. Want to get the fuck out, right? And that's why we're seeing, you guys might not think this, but this is a big, the wick on the top of this candle here. That's a lot of sell. And they should be, rightfully so. DCAing is a powerful way to unwreck yourself. Yeah, and you did the right thing, didn't you? Look at you. Look at you. Hopefully you're doing the right thing. Hopefully you're getting out in profits and or right about because you leveraged in on the way down, averaging yourself into a lower price point with your bags. And so that when those ones that you bought at the lower price point go back up a significant amount, like it did today, 34%, you are now back at a net zero, like or zero, or like a even point, or hopefully a positive price point in your bag, right? 4x4 DCA strategy is massive. I'm sorry if I'm getting close to the mic. Yep. Love it, love it, love it. So that's H bar. And again, I think H bar is phenomenal. I think they, you know, I'm not saying sell your whole bag, but man, you know, there's places to be watching out on. AVAX right now, or Avalanche, if you guys don't know, got out at got out at 0.14. Nice, basic 15. Cool. 50 cents. Damn, that's awesome. Nice. So Ava, again, you can see that I used to follow the shit out of this. As a matter of fact, I was charting these yellow lines. That's where I DCA'd myself back into. I think I literally bought here in the past here at the previous bottoms, and it wrecked. And I was like, all right, I got capital. I'm gonna wait. And then like months went by, we kind of went choppy down here. We're slow bleeding. And so right here around, I think it was somewhere around here, I started laying out these lines here, and I DCA'd into fours, split my fours into fours as well. So every zone, every I split up. You know what? I'll just share with you guys later my DCA strategy. Well, actually, you know what? Let's do it here so you guys aren't confused watching this, because some of you guys might be like, what the hell are you talking about? I did a really good example using Atom a long time ago. So hopefully this doesn't get too confusing for you guys, though. No, this isn't it. Atom up 12%, though. Holy crap. Give me 1 second, guys. Trading views going slow today for me. It's so slow. What are you doing? Talking to you like you're my old grandma. All right. Any day now. This isn't it. Where the hell is it? I forget which chart is what. Oh, okay. Here. So this is a good example, okay? It's going to be a lot. It's going to be a lot, but this is a good example, okay? We'll go to the weekly so you can see this better. So, reset chart. All right, check this out. This is going to be a lot. So if you guys can see this here, this is what my dynamic 4x4 DCA strategy looks like here, right? As you can see, there's 4 zones. 1, 2, 3, and 4, right? And you got to kind of, I'm not going to explain this here, but basically, or like how I picked my zones, but basically all I did was go back and recent price action in the past, and I just eyeballed support and resistance. It doesn't take like a genius to do this. And I just kind of like split those up into a large section, into 4 sections. In that 4 sections, each section also gets split up into 4, right? So this first section right here, I take whatever I have. Let's say it's $1,000, right? And then what I do is I split it up amongst my 4x4 DCA strategy. So my first buy zone would be right here, $6.05. Next one is always doubling down on the way down, right? The next buy zone would be right here, because if I'm wrong and it keeps sliding, I want to have more capital to reinforce my position on the way down. I want to keep doing that as much as I possibly can. So, you know, it's like overwhelming firepower with the military. This is like a true technique that they use, right? So they'll come in, say they have 6 soldiers, they'll reinforce it with 13 more soldiers with overwhelming firepower to kill their enemies, right? And if that doesn't work, it's 26 and then 54. So again, think of it as like that, but in this case, this is dollars. So $6.50 the first buy zone, 13, 26, 54. If my first zone gets demolished by the bears, we're at war, because we're at war, right? I'm going to come to my second defense zone here, which is my second zone of my DCA. I'm going to start with double the amount that I started with before, $13, 26, 55, 106. Again, that all gets smoked. I'm coming down to my third zone, 26, 55, 105, 214, and then 55, 105, 214, 426, right? This allows me to reinforce my position on the way down to where on average, when I did this, my average position before it rallied again was right here, was this blue line. And then when it rallied up here from the blue line, let me take all this off here. Excuse me. Oops. When it rallied from this blue line here, back up to where it topped off, not even to the absolute top. I was up 81% from my position. So nobody knows where the bottom is, right? But if you like something, practice your rules of engagement. I'm going to keep saying that again. Practice your rules of engagement. And practice money management, risk management. This is one of the ways that let you really do that. Guys, I was able to hit this several times. Look, from this zone here, I actually got from the very bottom, but from this zone here to the absolute top, it was over 100%. And then it did it again. And then it did it again. You know, it's like, it's a very powerful tool. But anyway, I'm going way off the rails here. We'll go back to AVAX. Where's AVAX? AVAX kind of still stalling right here. AVAX needs to get above this next zone. It needs to stay above where it's at right now. This is basically on the daily time frame. Just go here. On the daily time frame, you can see here that we have the SMAs colliding together, the 50 SMA coming into the 200 SMA. We all know what happens when the cross happens, supposedly, right? But truly and honestly, if it does falter and come back down, which again, it should test itself as support. You can kind of say that it did this just recently here when it came back to retest previous resistance on the charts for AVAX, right? And now it bounced to use it as a springboard. The momentum does look like it's still catching the same resistance as it did in the past. So I would suspect that come back down. I would even suspect that it threads through previous support that it just recently had and lines up with the SMAs and maybe uses that as a better form of support before it makes an effort to retest this bigger form, $51, our bigger area of support, which is basically all-time highs in the past. Take a look at that, guys. It's going to have to get past that zone that it was at in the past again before it really truly conquers momentum and hopefully makes a run to its all-time glorious price points in the past, right? You can see this here. Again, this is so easy to see. Previous resistance back in 2021. Previous support before it slid through. Resistance. As it climbs, if it does keep continuously climbing and you haven't already taken profits, you need to eyeball $51 for AVAX. Is that on TradingView? I don't know if there's a Carrot and ILV. Excuse me, I'm dyslexic. Is that, if it's not on TradingView, I'll try to look at a couple other things. What I think about gaming, I think gaming is the potential for gaming is huge. And you know, I'm not gonna preach to the choir. You guys all know this. Like the gaming sector, the gaming industry is a massive part of our everyday muggle counterparts' lives that we need to capture as far as like what blockchain can provide to the gaming industry. The problem is not a lot of gaming companies or even game developers are, I think, right now focusing on the technology that blockchain can provide and applying it to what they're presenting to the masses currently. I think some of them have good concepts. You know, like there's several of them that I think actually have really good concepts or whatnot, like Gala. Gala was music, right? Like there's music, there's gaming and stuff like that. The problem with a lot of these though is they get VC funding, which if you guys know, these guys that are angel investors, VC fundings, you know, the people that put up the capital for the development of it all, when you go that route, they want their fucking money back. Like they want their investment back lickety split. And unfortunately, a lot of people, when they make these deals to get this kind of funding that they need to develop what they want to develop, right? They don't think about the long-term perspective as far as the token holders perspective. All they want to develop is, as far as the developer goes, is what they have in mind, right? If they can do it and get paid, and their VC funders or whoever their angel investors are earlier can also exit, That's all they really care about, right? Like, and I'm not trying to say all of them are like that, but that's how the game goes. Like, right, they want what they want back. So, like Gala, I thought was really interesting. They had a lot of adoption, a lot of like, especially the music sector. They had a lot of big ways. Snoop and stuff like that was on it. But you got to remember, you're fighting like a real big uphill battle. You're like trying to paddle upstream without a paddle with holes in your boat from the very get-go, because there's so many other people before you that actually, yeah, you guys get what I'm saying. But there are some interesting ones that are out there right now. Like, if you guys don't know, Eve Online, or I should say Eve Frontier, is working on bringing in blockchain technology in a new iteration of Eve Online. And Eve Online is a huge, huge community. And if they can do that correctly, I think that's a really interesting way that they're introducing blockchain into gaming. Go check that out. I'm not going to get into too much of that because it could go into a very deep, long conversation. There's people like Chilled Worlds, which are bringing a more simplistic way. I think they're doing kind of the same thing as some other people have done, but they're bringing MMO in a different way with their Chilled Worlds or Chilled Kids NFTs to their game, which is a browser-based MMO game. Basically, if you have a web browser, anybody can play it, right? But they're making really interesting partnerships, and they have a very interesting flywheel, if you will, with their play to earn and also with their NFTs. Check them out on Stargaze. If you guys don't know about Stargaze, that's like one of my favorite NFT places. But there's again, the conversation goes so far down the rabbit hole. I think, again, blockchain developers and communities need to really, I guess the right word is reevaluate how they're approaching mass adoption, because I think a lot of them with gaming, they keep trying to compete with centralized gaming entities who run basically all their stuff on centralized services, which are going to just be way more faster. And the unfortunate setback, there's two of them for crypto gaming, is one, the speed of which and the reliability of which we can run the structure on is right now, I would dare say, unreliable. But at the same time, nobody wants to pay a transaction every single time they do something with a game. It needs to be minimal. So, like, I don't know. That's just my 2 cents. I'll get off that one because I can go so far in this wormhole. But yeah, that was Yuri. Thanks for the question, man. I appreciate that. Again, let me know where Carrot and ILV are. If they're not in trading view, I don't know. Now says, what about Juno? I was so hopeful for Juno. Still, like, honestly and truthfully, could be. The problem with Juno is I'm not a developer. And there was a time, I'm not gonna spend too much time into it. It's up 25%. Holy crap. There was a time to where I still feel like I could do a lot of good, but I'm not a developer. So I can't do a lot of things or implement a lot of things because I would need to depend on somebody else, which would mean that somebody else has to be willing to work with other people. And I think that's kind of one of the hardest things with Juno is there's not a lot of developers that really want to stick their neck out there and put their neck on the line or do the hard work without being compensated an extraordinary, huge amount, unrealistic amount in most cases. So yeah, I think what is the big thing for Juno. I'm gonna just say this, and it's not everybody. There are some people that would. Juno's a good representation of the whole narrative or bullshit talking piece of I'm here for the tech. It represents that's totally bullshit. You know what I mean? Because developers aren't here to work on tech if they can't get paid. Very few of them will stick with something that they birthed into the space unless they continuously can get paid. Like, nobody wants to work on stuff unless they're getting paid an extremely high amount, an unrealistic valuation of what their self-worth is and what their project is worth. And I've seen it time and time. It's not to say all of them, but it's a really good representation of like how full of shit that is. A lot of people here are here for the money and not for the tech and not for the actual development of what this actually could produce in the future for our everyday lives. I get it. We all need to eat. So like, there's only so much time and energy people can spend on any given thing before you go, this isn't worth it. There's that conversation. So I'm not like a full on idiot about that. Trust me, I get it. Like I won't spend time in doing things that are not fruitful in what I'm trying to accomplish, right? Um, so there's that. But yeah, that's now's that's what's about Juno. But there's Demi actually put up a prop to clean up some trash issues when it comes to Juno. So that was really good. I would vote yes for that if it hasn't already passed. I think it did. Quick glance at that Livium ILV. It's in a buy. Where are you looking at that company and had Pixar behind them? Is that like is that the ticker? ILV? Is it I see. Well, here, let me share this again. Is this it? Spot crypto? Is this it? ILV. Let's take a look at it. 10%, 11%, it looks like at one point. I'll be honest with you, brother. I don't know much about if this is the right one. Ooh, this looks like oh God. Look at this. Look at this thing. Oh, it looks like the Juno chart. I'm just that looks like the Juno chart. It kind of does, don't it? Though? It kind of does. I'm just messing, but I'm not. Let's take a look at it real quick. No, Juno looks worse. Juno looks worse because it had hope here and then it died. I'm just joshing with you guys, man. That's all. I'm just joshing with you guys. I'm still hopeful for Juno. Juno, like a man, there's like if just a few things could happen for Juno. If you guys don't know, Juno is a smart contract play that's in the Cosmos ecosystem primarily, that had no VCs, no angel investors. It was just like given out by a handful of developers. Unfortunately, a lot of problems happened. A lot of the developers abandoned it, and now it's kind of just and a few people really use it as a cash cow, and yeah, now it's just kind of sitting in limbo. But I really think like as far as that origin story and what it can produce, like if there's just a few people just stepped aside and said, okay, I'm done abusing the shit out of this, have what you will, let people you know what I was saying, like the developers that are not here for the tech actually, but are here to get paid. If they just say, okay, I'm done milking this thing, let other people try to do it, I'll bow out, like truly bow out and cut myself off and just see what happens. If that happened, like there'd be so much fun things that could happen on Juno, but there's not, and that's what needs to change. Mr. Sticker says a quick glance. ILV looks like it's in a buy area now. The Carrot is a new company. I would say yeah, because here's the thing, real easy. Again, TA is super easy. This is your bottom, right? Triple bottoms, I don't really get all too into. Double bottoms, like it kind of played out here. And you know, if you're like me and see any type of really good double digit gain on the chart, this is 223 from where it double bottomed here. Like I would have been out a long time ago here. And then it faltered again. I really don't take triple bottoms into play out too much. But yeah, like I don't know, man. That maybe a buy area, but I would say if it triple bottom, the last two times it had bottomed here to here was 180, right? This one was a little over 200. I would say that you're getting diminishing returns off any kind of bounce here, and I would probably exit if it, 50% from the bottom there. I wouldn't put too much weight into it. It's just not very strong in my humble opinion from the years of being in things. And you can say it's not that far away from it right now, 50% right here, and you're kind of seeing that happen right now, right? Like if it was to falter here and get rejected off the 200 SMA that it's sitting on, I would not be surprised one bit. I would not be surprised one bit, because you kind of get diminishing returns with every bounce. It's just like when you throw a bouncing ball, the first bounce is high and then it gets smaller, it's smaller, it's smaller, it's smaller and smaller every single time, right? Like that's kind of what's happening right now. Yeah. Mr. Snickers making me hungry for Snickers, man. On a damn Snickers. Yeah. Wow, went on a rambling episode there. Really cool that just recently happened. It's not there anymore. is that the total market cap was back into the 3 trillion market for crypto. We were pointing this out and shared it a long time ago with a lot of people in the past. We're on the daily time frame. If you're looking at the daily time frame for the total market cap, you could have said and drawn the conclusion that this was looking like a really weird but really big cup and handle pattern, right? And you guys know what happens with the cup and oh, look at that in a second. Yeah, you're right. Thanks for reminding, Carrot. You guys know, at least for me, the way that I look at cup and handle patterns, guys, is one, like, if it plays out, and this is a big if, it's a little too early to tell. We did break out from the cup or from the handle, excuse me. But the way that I play them is the depth of the cup. I go halfway, and this is what I've seen for me that works. So the depth of the cup, right, is like 71%. Let's just say the depth of the cup would be halfway, is right around like let's say 37%, right? Like right here. The depth of the cup here would be 37%. That's like what you can expect. This is an easier way to do this as well. Let's just say here, that's where we were. That's where you can expect this pump to lead us into. Realistically, it might go higher than that. But if I was to see this like lead into a $4-5 trillion market cap for the entire crypto landscape, whatever position that I'm in, I would be getting the fuck out of it immediately if it comes up into that 4 to 5 range here. Like, again, I like to get out of things prematurely instead of trying to time the absolute tops, just so that I can always feel like a winner, right? But realistically and truthfully and honestly, half of the depth of the cup is what you can expect this to falter out on. It might go higher. Sure, it might go much higher, whatever. But that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for over the next couple of years for this to play out, because again, this is a multiple year pattern to play out. Back when we started this in 2021, right? And I like to think too, because everything kind of gives diminishing returns as we grow in market cap, as we grow in value. It takes much more effort to grow. It does. It takes. That's why you see things stall out more. You imagine how much more money needs to flood in to get to a 4 trillion, 5 trillion market cap for crypto. That's a lot of freaking money. You might not think that, but that's a lot of freaking money. So as that happens, since this took us 4 years, like, I'm going to give it again 2 years until I get the hell out of here, right? If it doesn't happen within 2 years, that's a bad sign. If we can't get up to that 4 trillion in 2 years, in my mind, conservatively, I think that that's time for me to exit, right? And that would be, somewhere here, 2026. Remember where we are right now. This would be, I'm actually going to mark this right here because I think that's a good thing to speculate on. Let's just say February here. If we can't get to that I'm going to do this too. I'm going to do this here too. If we can't get to this range here, I'm going to move that down too, just because I want to be conservative. Let's split it in half. Let's say 4.4. If we can't get to this by 2026, as far as the total market cap for crypto, I'll sell everything. But if we are like getting up to here and we're just like near it, maybe not. But like if we start faltering before that, I'm selling everything before we hit these zones again, for sure. Because that means it's over. Let me see if I can find this for our friend here before I run out of time. I've been streaming for over an hour, and I didn't even get into Cosmos stuff. Cosmos has been pumping, my friends. Cosmos ecosystem I don't see it on here. Sorry. I don't know what is that on? Carrot, like a meme on Solana. Solana memes have been running crazy. Yeah, we covered Bitcoin. Litecoin, I absolutely love. Shout outs to the Litecoin Twitter handle, whoever's in charge of the Litecoin Twitter handle. I love the fact that you're PvPing and memeing it the hell up. Absolutely love it. The one thing I don't like, people, I think J-Chain said this about Litecoin, what does it do and stuff like that. The one thing I like about Litecoin, that it's on basically every exchange. It's Carrot. No, oh, maybe I did it wrong. I'm sorry. Stop yelling at me. You're right. Look at this there. It's on Coinbase. Oh shit. What is this? It's it's on Coinbase. Hold on. It's down 3 point. What is this? Oh, it's been on Coinbase since May. Okay. What is this? What is it? Tell me about it. So this here, again, real easy. Real easy. You can see this is an average point of which was once support getting treated. And let's see, right? If it holds up as support. But so far, it's just been threading. Do this. Let's give it the respect it deserves. It's basically on average right there on eyeballing. I'm not measuring nothing. I'm just eyeballing. It's been threading through this, right? It's definitely been threading through support right here. You can maybe say that this is kind of bullish. I think I don't know any of the fundamentals of it, so it's kind of hard for me. But you're in this channel, if you will. And I don't think that the reason why I do this kind of like just roughly is I really don't believe that you have to be exact. There's a lot of things that just ebb and flow through things that still have a lot of weight to it just by like being close to a pattern. But you're in this triangle pattern, if you will, here. And if you guys don't know, the general rule of thumb of a triangle pattern is you have 5 moves within a triangle pattern. And usually on top of that, there's also a rule of thumb that the way that you enter into a triangle pattern is usually the way that you exit out of a triangle pattern. And you can kind of say that maybe, just maybe, the argument would be, and I'm playing devil's advocate here, Yuri. I hope that I'm saying your name right too. Yuri? I'm sorry if I'm saying it wrong. You can kind of say that, honestly, you can't count this entry as part of the triangle pattern. You can count this downtrend as the first move. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 would be on the way out, right? That's what I'm seeing. But if you're bullish and you kind of got a bias, you would say, oh, but I entered into this triangle pattern to the upside, and it's 1, 2, 3, 4, and this would play out and bring you to the outside or to the upside of it. I don't really see it that way, though. I don't really see it that way. I see it as more, we hit the top and started this pattern here. 1, right? 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm just saying that's what it looks like to me. I could be wrong. I don't know the fundamentals of it. I don't know the fundamentals of it at all. There could be something that's a catalyst. It could totally be smoking me about this. I don't know. And then you could also like just ignore this, look at averages for support lines, and you could draw this out here and say, this was also realistically a support line here, right? That you should still have in a long-term play because it's still 1, 2, 3 touches of support. Maybe it just comes down to here, right? Again, big maybe. It finds support and it just keeps doing its thing like that. I don't know. I got to look into it. I didn't know it was on Coinbase. I didn't even know what it was. Thanks for putting on some new things on my chart. I love when new things get added on my chart. I'm gonna real quickly because I didn't want to go over an hour. I'm already at an hour 10. Let's quickly go over. I love the interactions, guys. This is the stuff that I love. Ask me if you guys are interested in things, and I will chart away. Link right now, little over $15. We have a long-term support line here that I've drawn out for people. Long-term support, long. Again, remember, we're in a daily time, a long-term support line here. I did buy some link on these. This is my 4x4 DCA strategy. Again, if you guys are new to the channel, you'll see these quite often. I don't change my charts. I don't move my lines. I don't erase them. I leave them there so that people can always fact check me, see if I'm full of shit. These charts, some of these things have been on it for years when I share it. So again, I was DCAing into here, was lucky to hit it right around, I didn't get $10, but I think it was like right around $11 here. Got on this trend line, wrote it up. I'm still writing this up here for link. I do think it needs to get above this white line here. Is a huge level of average resistance and support in the past. It's going to have to really get over that with some oomph in order for it to carry on through. I think if it does, it has a good chance, obviously, to retest the next levels of resistance, which is easily seen on the charts here. Chainlink, you need Chainlink. You need Chainlink for just about everything in crypto right now, at least. It's funny to me that not a lot of people have been implementing the technology though, using what is it, CCIP or whatever it's called. But I think they will. I think they will, and I think it's a kind of like a long term, kind of no brainer as far as a hold goes for a lot of people. I do think people are getting exhausted though. I do think some people are kind of getting exhausted. You don't. Before it used to be all about the link membranes and all this other stuff, but there's a lot of people that DC'd at these lows here. So there was a lot of support there, but it needs to climb. And again, you can see this being represented: the average support and the resistance that happened here and here. We're at it right now. This is a critical level that it needs to actually get over and overcome. If it doesn't, like, I'm just going to be looking at this support line to see if it holds up again. If not, before DCA strategy. Solana literally has one of the best narratives of all time. Literally one of the best looking charts of all time. Forget all of the other bullshit that's out there. Yes, the chain goes down, all of this, blah, blah, blah. There's big money in it and all this stuff. Like, it's clearly got the narrative. It's clearly got the meme-fication. It's clearly got the liquidity, the active users. It's got everything. It's got the speed. It really does. I heard this from another channel, and I'm going to say this. This is not mine, but I 100% could see this happening. I'm not trying to pump this bag. I've taken a lot of my profits already on Solana, guys. We're at all-time highs. I've taken a lot of my profits from my initial, and I feel stupid now. But you know what? I don't care. Or we're near all-time highs, I should say. I'm sorry. But it is what it is. You could call this a humongous cup and handle pattern. That's, it's not exact. You could say that, but it's got it. I could see Solana eventually taking over Ethereum interest from users and developers, and it climbing to maybe not 3,000, but I definitely could see it climbing its market cap to overcome Ethereum. And what would that be? I don't know what it is. Somebody, if you guys have it in front of you, what is that site where you can switch back and forth? I don't know. Let me look right here. Oh wait, was it compare market caps? Look at this fucking damn dark mode enable. Jeez Louise. Okay, here we go. Let me share it with you guys. So this is CoinGecko. We're comparing market caps, right? Solana was to be able to be compared to Ethereum. That would put Solana at a price point of $807. That's insane. What's up, JR? What's up, man? That's insane. That's a little over 3x from here, right? You guys don't think that can happen? You're insane. I mean, I realistically think that can happen. Maybe you're not insane, but I do. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me why I'm wrong about that too. But I could definitely see that. Do you guys have Solana? I will hold. I think honestly, like, oh, why am I here? I think my general, like, when people ask me about Solana, and I don't even use the Solana ecosystem as much as I probably should, to be honest with you. I do mess around with memes and stuff like that. But the general people that talk to me about crypto, when they ask me about Solana, I go, I think every household or every individual should strive to maybe hold, 10 Solana long term. Work up to it. Something like that, right? Work up to 10 Solana long term, especially at the price point that it's at now, even though it's basically at all-time highs. Like are you kidding me? And then on top of that, you can stake it and get a yield. Come on. Maybe there's not an ETF now, but until something fundamentally happens that's gonna give a catalyst for the positive or negative, like, man, Solana's where it's at. So I don't know. Let me know if you guys think that that's crazy talk. It might be. Ethereum needs to really crack down on a few things. But Ethereum right now trading at $3,177. It's up 3.2%. It bounced off the 200 SMA here. It bounced off the 200 SMA here. But man, we need to get above and address some things for Ethereum. But I think it's the legacy thing. So I think a lot of other non-crypto natives, muggles, if you will, CFOs, CEOs, princes, help like really, really well-off individuals are just going to say to their whomever manages their portfolio, buy me 1% of ETH, like whatever my stuff is, whatever. It's got first mover advantage. It's all about narrative fundamentals. It's all about that, guys. I'm telling you right now. Adam, right now, speaking of that, I'm going to say something that's going to make me sound like a shithead. But 99 boobies secured and due to anybody that doubted me about my 4x4 DCA strategy and where I thought Adam was going to go when I shared it in the past, when I called out 750, 615, 460, and I told you guys even 80 cents because that's my 4x4. Guys, again, I hit this lick so many times. If you got in on this, guys, you're up tremendously. Even from the 4x4 DCA, the third zone here to where we are right now, you're up 32%. So, yeah, we need to stay above the 200 SMA. If Adam can stay above the 200 SMA, and if Adam, look, I'm gonna say this right now. If the Cosmos Hub can stay above the 200 SMA, if the Cosmos Hub can just take a chance on something like Astrovault's outbid and buy that, I think that'd be a huge value add for the Cosmos Hub. I think adding a feature like outbid on the hub and allowing the hub to do what it should do, it would be extremely bullish for the Cosmos Hub. So I'm telling you guys, if you guys don't know, check out the Cosmos Hub forums. I'm a little bit biased because yes, Eric, Ethan, Astrovault, I know them. I consider them my friends and stuff like that. But I really, honestly, and truthfully, for the money to acquire something like that and put it on the Cosmos Hub, that would give the Atom token utility. It would give the greater ecosystem a lot more opportunities. And I think it is a huge value add that we need to consider as an ecosystem. So all you validators that are out there, listen to somebody for once in your godforsaken lives. And I'm telling you, put outbid on the Cosmos Hub and we would see Atom easily in a double-digit price point again, back into the 10s, back into the 20s in the near future. If you want that to happen, just fucking do it. Just do it. Yeah. Crow right now up 7.58%. Man, insane. It's got to get above right now. We're sitting on previous resistance. It's got to get above it right now. Critical level in the past again. This was once support, resistance on average, support, resistance, blah, 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 blah. You guys see it. You guys, I'm not, you guys don't see it because I'm not showing it to you right now. But look at this here. We're basically at an average of resistance, support, resistance before it blasts off, support, resistance, resistance. Guys, Crow could take the fuck off right here. If it blasts through this, it's not my opinion. It's done it in the past. If it gets away from here, if it comes back down, treats it as a springboard, whop, easy peasy could do it. Think about it. Coinbase is becoming a powerhouse. If it already wasn't, it's becoming a powerhouse more and more each month that goes by. We're going to need decentralized opportunities or options, I would say, other options instead of just Coinbase. Crypto.com has been around. It's an entity that's in the space. It's just look out for if Kraken had a token too, like look out for all these other exchanges. You got to think about that. I think Crow could easily go back to that 50 to that 60 cent range. Easy. Kujira. Do I even want to get into Kujira? Up 5.28. It's way above where people got offered it on the liquidations. A lot of things. I'm not going to get into that. I think I got a whole bunch of Kujira back in the, what was that, 30% discount, like in the 40 cent range. I didn't get it all, I think I got it like in the high 40 cent range. But looking good. Jackal right now. I'm gonna put this on you guys radar. I am shilling this. So full transparency, I'm shilling this like hell. Jackal decentralized storage application, huge potential. DVPN or DVPN, DPN. That's a whole other freaking, damn it. I want to change things around. It's a whole nother project. But Jacko, decentralized storage application protocol, find it in the Cosmos ecosystem. DPIN has huge product market fit. Right now, I'm seeing a really good opportunity for people to get in. The 200 SMA crushing together right now. We're above the support line here. If it falters, goes back down, I'm still looking. I will buy so much more at 13 cents where I plotted out here. And again, if it falters, which I don't think it will, just above or just below 5 cents here again. Jacko is one that I would put on everybody's radar. Do not ignore that one bit. Jacko, 100% I'm bullish on. Think about it, consider it. Take a small allocation and buy yourself some. Stargaze up 15%. Shout out to my Stargaze NFT Nashville. Huge supporter of Stargaze. Again, up 15% right now. Osmosis 7%. Akash 14%. 14%. And I was calling this out for people about Akash, guys. Was calling you guys see this. Still getting some resistance right here. Needs to get above this trend line right here. This trend line right here. If it gets above that, guys, we're blasting back off to where all-time highs were for Akash. Huge bullish fundamental things happening for Akash. Neutron up. It was, I think, 10%. It's 9.49 right now. Again, 200 SMA is what it's fighting resistance on for Neutron. Right? Needs to get above that. If you can flip that, take a look at previous resistance lines, which is 55 cents, 76 cents, $1. There's going to be huge sell walls there. We hit a lick right here for Neutron. Yeah. TIA right now, 7%. Again, guys, this was really cool, kind of like sideways action for TIA. I'd like to see a lot more gaps, a lot more news, a lot more social awareness happening for TIA. I'm going to say Joe's going to kill me about this one. I'm going to say some little bit alpha. Making an initiative to help create an entity which is going to help the Cosmos Hub and all of its consumer chains going forward with marketing. Be on the lookout for that. Please support that. I just want what's best for the Cosmos Hub and its consumer chains and ecosystem in general, which means an indirect but direct exposure and effect for all. When I'm talking about this entity trying to do what has been long needed in the Cosmos ecosystem, that is market the shit out of it. Yeah, be on the lookout for that. A little bit alpha for you guys though. Juno right now up 27%. It's at 10 cents again. Woo. Look at that. Had nothing to do with that. Injective up 3.46. $25. A little over $25. Again, it needs to hold above it. All of them are going to look like this, especially in the Cosmos. Look at these SMAs pinching together here. It needs to stay above that. And if it comes back down, watch it for a springboard of support. Yeah. Evmos right now down 10%. The only one big thing in Cosmos right now, getting a lot of flack, a lot of resistance, getting killed off the 200 SMA right here. Chihuahua, which is the meme token, which is a little bit more than meme token in the Cosmos ecosystem because it has smart contracts, but up 3.78% right now. Secret had a huge run just recently, so you got to give it its time to kind of have its ebbs and flows. Down today 14.82, but I'll take that when it was up almost 100%. Look at that, guys. 243%, excuse me. So when it has a 14% dip, I don't really care. Yesterday was up a huge. Yeah. Kind of just flying through things right now. I'm gonna leave it at that. That's what I got, my friends. I'm so happy and thankful for all of you guys' support. 270 people watching this. As far as restream goes, do me a huge favor, like it, retweet it, subscribe to the channel if you're on YouTube. Follow me on Twitter. I could really use you guys' support. I try to bring realistic mindsets or views on what's happening on the charts. I try to promote realism and profit taking because I just want you guys to be winners. And if you guys don't profit take, you guys aren't winners, right? Like, don't hold your bags forever. Do what we're here to do. Anyway, guys, I'll be back again later with more content for you guys to digest. With that being said,